Good morning, girlies. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sammy. It is currently 7 a.m. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little tired this morning. I haven't been sleeping the greatest. The last 2 nights, for some reason, I've been like tossing and turning and just like not being able to get comfortable, waking up like randomly throughout the night and just like not being able to fall back asleep. Nevertheless, we are up and we are at it, ready to go, because we've got goals that we need to hit and commitments that we made to ourselves that we would go to the gym this morning. So got up on that first alarm, did not hit snooze, got dressed, did a little bit of like makeup, just some mascara, that's all I do for the gym, and then pulled my hair back. And now we're gonna have our pre-workout meal. But I wanted to start today's video here just this morning, right before we go to the gym. I love like taking you guys along for a couple of days in my life and just showing you like what I do, what I eat, what I think, things about me, just sharing more about my life. I love watching that. So hopefully you guys love watching it and I can be like a source of inspiration or motivation to someone out there. Like I said, we are about to hit the gym. So we're about to make our pre-workout meal. We're gonna make our cream of rice, as well as we are going to have our electrolytes. Pre-workout meal is done. We did cream of rice, a little bit of iso protein powder, and then some banana, some honey, some peanut butter, and then a little bit of sea salt on there. I've been finding that like recently I haven't really had like a morning routine because I've been just getting up, getting ready, and going to the gym, which I think is fine. I think sometimes we think that a morning routine has to be so like slow and easygoing and like reading a book and writing in your journal. And I believe in that sometimes, for sure. Like I definitely feel there are times in my life or seasons in my life where I need to like take it easy in the mornings and like really set myself up for success mentally, physically, emotionally. But recently I've just been feeling like getting up and going to the gym and having the morning movement has been really, really helpful in just like setting myself up for the day. I love working out early in the morning and just like getting those endorphins and that like serotonin really, really boosted in the morning. It makes me feel wonderful for the rest of the day, and it's something challenging and hard that I do first thing when I wake up so that the rest of the day feels like easier, right? But one thing that I do that does help set me up for success for like an early morning like this is laying out my outfit the night before. So like I pick out my outfit for the gym the night before and I put it in the bathroom so that when I go to get ready or like when I get up, I go to the washroom and then I just like immediately get into my outfit, and it helps just take away that extra like decision fatigue or that decision making in the morning that makes it even harder to like wake up and get to the gym. So if you're struggling to get up and get ready in the morning, I highly recommend just laying out your clothes the night before, getting your gym bag ready so that it's just there and you don't have to think about it. You just have to put on what you laid out the night before, get your gym bag, and get going. Let's finish this pre-workout meal and let's hit the gym. Look who's joined us.
Camine con ese tumbao, con esa actitud. Dime dónde venden en la tienda alguien como tú, pa' que entiendas el nivel de tu altitud. Ey, dame el punto exacto de tu latitud, que no tenemos chance en la corte, ni un pasaporte pa' después de la muerte. Así que fúgate con tu folklore. Yo te hizo de una manera tan fuerte. Así que fúgate con tu folklore. Dame de eso que tú tienes, bebé. Con tanto amor tú te vas a enloquecer. Yo te quiero estremecer. Después arreglamos con quién vamos a envejecer. Por ahora sigue así de bella pa' que no pasen las horas. Brilla como estrella de chamito de señora. Yo queriendo novio pero tú no colaboras. Es por ser quien eres que te atiendo a todas horas.
Just finishing up making my breakfast, but I wanted to share with you guys like the supplement vitamin stack that I take on a regular basis. Supplements are obviously meant to supplement your diet, and all of your vitamins and minerals should be coming from the food that you put in your body. However, it's always good to add in a little bit of extra, or if you feel like you are struggling with something or maybe deficient in something, adding it into your day-to-day routine can be super, super helpful. So the first thing that I always take is just a vitamin and mineral balance. This is just meant to help me get like those extra little vitamins and minerals that I may be missing in my diet or not getting like 100% enough of. So really, really great to take one of those just every single day to balance out your vitamins and minerals. Then I also take an omega-3. A couple of months ago, I went for blood work with my doctor, and I actually had really high cholesterol, or not really high cholesterol, but higher than normal cholesterol. So I've been taking one of these just to help me with my good levels of cholesterol be higher, and then of course focusing on my diet to make sure I'm not raising those bad levels of cholesterol. And then I also take a vitamin B6 and magnesium supplement. This is meant to help me with my sleep and to make sure that I get a good quality sleep every single night. Magnesium is really, really great for that. And then vitamin B6 also helps with energy and metabolism, and also helps you just maintain your body's ability to metabolize nutrients. So really important there. And then I also take a probiotic every single day just to help me with my digestion and my gut health. I found ever since I started taking this, I've actually noticed a big difference in my digestion. And then I also take a vitamin C just to help me with my vitamin C intake. I don't get enough of this, keep my immune system nice and strong and healthy so that I don't get sick, because I feel like everyone is getting sick. And one thing that I also have that I, to be honest, forget to take quite often is this cortisol balance. This is meant to help your sleep and stress management. I meant to take this before bed, but I always forget to take it. But it is in the cupboard. It's there in case I feel like I need it, which, knowing me and how I've been sleeping recently, it might actually be a good idea to start taking those again. But all of the vitamins and supplements that I take on a regular basis are all from Believe. This is a Canadian company, Canadian brand, and they're phenomenal. They're third-party tested, super safe, and just incredible ingredients, clean ingredients that make me feel really like good about taking it and not worried that it's going to negatively impact me. So if you want to get your hands on some of those vitamins and minerals, you can use code KP at checkout on the Believe website, and that directly supports me and Kiefer. Once a week I will go and see them, whether that's just like hanging out at my sister's house or going to do something like fun with them, going on a walk, whatever it is. And this week we're actually going to her little sensory class where she gets to go for like 45 minutes to this little like class that they put on where all her senses get like awoken, and she gets to be around other babies and stuff like that. And it's honestly the cutest thing ever. I've been a couple times already, and every week there's like a little theme that they do. It's just adorable. But Lorelai, my niece, she's 6 months old. I cannot believe that she is like half a year old already. Time is just flying. I'm sure my sister feels the same way, like, or worse, about how fast time is going. I can't believe it. So I'm so grateful and feel so lucky that I get to go and spend time with her every single week. Like, not a lot of people would get to do that. If you have a job that you can't take time away from, I'm so lucky that I get to like choose my schedule, work my own hours so that I can go and spend time with her. I love it so much. It's literally like the highlight of my week every week. So we're gonna go do that. But I also did want to share, like, with my current physique goals that I have, I've been working with a coach now for the last November, December, January, like 3 months essentially. And we've been working really hard to get my physique to actually respond the way that I've wanted it to for so long. For so long, I was like forcing, I wanted to get lean, essentially, is what my goal was. Wanted to see the definition in my arms. I wanted to see the definition in my stomach and like keep my glutes the same size because I had worked so hard to like get them to where they were. And nothing I was doing was working. relatively clean. I would have like one kind of like off-plan meal every single week, and it just was not working. Like my body was so inflamed and so stressed that I would look at my progress photos and almost start to cry because I was working my butt off, but my body was just not following through with like what it was supposed to do and what I thought was going to work based off of like what I was doing on a regular basis. So I have been working with my coach Moose now for the last, more specifically, 5 weeks, like really dialing it in. And I'm talking like I have not eaten off of my meal plan for 5 weeks. I have eaten the exact same thing every single day, swapping between my training days being like a little bit higher carbs and then lower carbs on my off days, but the meals have been exactly the same. I have said no to a couple of things like going for dinner with my family, or even just like going out for a drink in the afternoon on a Saturday for like someone's birthday. And that's okay with me. Like I am okay. It's a little uncomfortable saying no to people or explaining to them that like I'm trying to really like lock it in for the next couple of months, but my body is finally starting to respond. So the consistency, the repetitiveness, the like mundane, boring meals that I have been eating are finally starting to pay off and work, and you can see it in my physique. Like I'm actually noticing I'm getting leaner. The scale is finally showing me like the numbers that it should be based off of like the work I've been putting in, and I could not be happier. But I wanted to share that because I was always someone who was like really afraid of like locking in, and the reason why is because in the past I had been very restrictive before, where I would cut carbs, I would cut out sugar, I would cut everything out in order to hit a certain goal and be eating like 1,200 calories. Right now I am eating 1,650 calories on my training day, which is crazy to me. Like back in a couple years ago, I would have been like, that's a surplus, like that's literally nothing. That's not a deficit, but I'm choosing to do more physically to make the deficit bigger, meaning like I'm moving my body more than cutting the calories. So basically what Moose, my coach, wants to do is like keep the calories the same so that I don't stress my body out and just move a little bit more. So a little bit more cardio, a little bit more like creating the deficit through exercise, keeping my heart rate really high and like elevated during my workouts, pushing the volume, etc. So it's been really great. Like I haven't really felt like super hungry. A couple times throughout the day I will notice it a little bit, but I'm so proud of myself for like sticking to something and not going into like a restrictive mindset and finally seeing the changes that I want. And like I said before, the reason why I was so afraid to do this in the past was because I was afraid of what people would think. I would be afraid that people would think I was like too obsessive about it, or that I didn't need to make a change. And people have definitely commented for sure. Like when I tell them I want to work towards this goal for my wedding day specifically, they're like, oh, Sammy, you're beautiful no matter what. Like you're gonna be a stunning bride. And I'm like, girl, I know. Like, of course I'm gonna be a stunning bride. Like, absolutely. But I also want to do this for myself because it's not about what other people think of me. It's like it's what I think of myself. I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for anyone else, and proving that I can challenge my body and like my physique and actually get to a new level where I have never been before. And I'm starting to see that, and it's really exciting to see. And I feel like this momentum that I've built over the last 5 weeks is wonderful, and like it's gonna keep pushing me forwards, and I just can't wait to see like what happens in the next couple of weeks, as long as I keep following the plan and as long as I keep doing the things that are working and I know that work, and staying compliant and consistent and repetitive with it all. So I literally brought my meal with me to eat at my sister's after we go to this little sensory class, because I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to my guns. So I've got my chicken, my rice, and my Brussels sprouts, and I can't wait to eat it because it's so good, and I know that it's getting me closer to my goals. But anyways, gonna go do this class, gonna hang out with my sis and Lorelai for a little bit, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. All right, I just finished getting ready for the day. It is my day off from the gym. It's Wednesday, so I normally will like get up in the morning, go right to the gym, get it done first thing in the morning. But on my days off, I like to take it a little bit more slow. So like I sleep in a little bit more by like 30 minutes extra. I take it a little bit slower in the morning, kind of get ready, get my coffee, get my day going. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. And we're gonna get to work here in a little bit, do some client like program updates, touch base with all the girls in the program, make sure that they're all good to go and that they're crushing it, which they always are. But it's a really, really exciting day today because I am going to pick up my wedding dress today. It is finally here. It feels like crazy that it's actually here. I ordered it and first like picked it out in April of last year. So it's almost been an entire year since I've even put it on my body, seen it in person, and just like, I don't know, made that huge, like big decision for the wedding day. That feels like so long ago. So I'm very, very excited, but I'm also kind of nervous because what if I don't like it? What if I don't like it anymore? That's my biggest concern and my biggest worry is that I'm going to put it on and be like, this is not it. This is not the dress anymore. I obviously felt that when I first put it on, but I've heard so many times that brides go back and put on their dress for a second time and they're like, this is not it. So I'm so nervous. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm also just so excited because like it's finally happening and we're 4 months out from the wedding. So things are going to start to kind of pick up here as we progress closer to May 30th. But I talk a lot about on my Instagram channel and even on here about just my prep for the wedding, like, you know, getting in the best shape of my life and taking care of myself and my skin and my hair and just like prioritizing, you know, stress management and sleep and all of the good things that I pretty much do on a regular basis. I'm just like locking it in a little bit more for the next 4 months to really make sure I make the most out of my time and set myself up for being the most confident in like feeling my best on the big day. However, I rarely talk actually about like what it took to get here. And this is like more of a vulnerable chat that I want to share with you guys, that you can't expect to have a high quality man come into your life or a high quality woman, partner, etc. You can't expect them to come into your life if you do not see yourself as high quality or high value. Like I spent so long in my early 20s and like more so like don't want to say teen years, but like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Before I met Kiefer, I spent a lot of time not valuing myself as a person, not taking care of myself, drinking a lot, using vices to manage my stress, like not exercising, not eating properly, starving myself, like really restricting everything about like nutrition and food as much as I could because I was trying to be the smallest version of myself that I possibly could. Like I was trying to hit 115 pounds on the scale. Like that was my goal all the time. And whether I felt like it or not, it definitely translated into my relationships that I had and the expectations and standards that I kind of let slip or let fall because I wasn't holding them for myself. To put it a little bit like more clear, I grew up watching my mom and dad, who are still happily married after 30 plus years, just love each other so much and be there for each other and be such supportive partners. And obviously grew up seeing my dad and the way that he treated my mom. I wanted that like so badly. He treats her with such respect and care and love, and they're just like best friends and they can get through anything. So my whole life I wanted that type of relationship, and I wanted the type of man who respected me, treated me with kindness, care, challenged me to be my best self, and held me to a higher standard as well. And in my early 20s, that was just not the case at all. And there's like no shade to the men that I dated. Like if you're watching this for some random reason, no shade. I hope that you are happy. I hope you are healthy. I hope that you are like finding joy in your life. But those relationships were not great. And I don't want to call them toxic because I knew that they could have been a lot worse, but they just were not it. They didn't treat me the way that I felt like I should be treated. I was almost always clawing for approval. I was always trying to shrink myself so that I didn't, upset them, or like I was trying to be this version of myself that I thought they wanted out of me, or maybe were unintentionally forcing me to be. And I just was not Sammy. I was not true to who I was. But at the end of the day, it was because I wasn't holding myself to a high standard, taking care of myself and treating myself as a high value person. So naturally I was attracting maybe not a high value man at the time, because I was like putting that out into the universe that I don't take care of myself, so why should someone else? You know what I mean? So until I started like really focusing on me and bettering myself physically and mentally and emotionally, and becoming this like woman I knew deep down I was always meant to be, but was like holding it back for so long, until I started doing that, I was never going to attract the right kind of person, or the person that I wanted to be my life partner into my life. So I always wanted a man who, you know, had really high standards and like values for themselves, valued family, valued, you know, self-care, valued just like a relationship with someone where you are their best friend, you're also their person, their you know, love, their soulmate, but you also challenge them to be a better version of themselves because you are a better version of yourself. And that's when I met Kiefer, was when I finally started elevating myself into this next version or next level of Sammy, and radiating confidence because I knew who I was and I knew my worth and I knew my value. And that's what I attracted into my life, was someone who matched me at that level. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I have been in points of my life where I am not happy in relationships. I'm not getting what I need or what I want out of it. And it wasn't ever about the men. As much as I wanted to blame it on them, it was solely about me. So let this be a source of inspiration for you. If you're in a relationship where you're not happy, or you maybe haven't found the right person yet, I promise you that if you focus on you first and you elevate your standards and your expectations for how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, and just like what you're willing to settle for, you are not ever going to find that, and you're never going to be fully happy or satisfied with it. I have such high hopes that like the rest of my life I will continue to be loved the way that I deserve to be loved. I will continue to be challenged in a way that makes me the best version of myself, and will continue to just like live every single day super grateful and happy that I have a best friend that I can rely on and lean on, and is someone who is going to lead my family in the future. Like when we have kids, I hope that we are lucky enough to be blessed with like 2 healthy, happy children down the road. Kiefer, I know, is the type of man who will like lead our family and take care of us and support us, because that's just who he is. But that's what I attracted into my life. Like I'll take credit for that, because I definitely wouldn't be here and wouldn't be in this relationship if I didn't do the self-work first. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys because I feel like I don't talk about it enough, and I feel like it is something that a lot of women maybe struggle with, or really don't know how to attract that kind of relationship or that kind of love into their life. And I wish that I had someone telling me this like years ago, because I wish I would have figured it out sooner, but at the same time, I know I figured it out right at the right time to allow Kiefer to come into my life. So anyways, I'll keep you guys posted on the wedding dress and how I like it, and if everything turns out okay. Hopefully it fits as well. Fingers crossed my body hasn't changed too much since they took those measurements last year, but I will talk to you guys in a little bit. the vlog here. I just made myself some lunch, or like my meal 3. 155 grams of chicken, 70 grams of white rice, and then 100 grams of mixed veggies. Very excited to eat this. I'm gonna get some steps on my walking pad. I have a couple calls with some of my clients later, but I figured, you know, you've spent a couple days with me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some inspiration or some motivation from it in some sort of way. Let me know if you guys like these videos in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, go check me out on Instagram. I post all the time on there. So yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.